Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, and I'm going to do a midweek pickup and touch on the tragedy in South Carolina. A lot of people are going to take this chance, especially since this happened at a church, to try and, I guess you can say, bash and belittle religion or belittle God or, try and say things like if Jesus was real, this wouldn't happen. This type of thing wouldn't happen. But let me explain to you and everybody out there what God is and what God does. God does not have control of us. He gave us free will. That was one of the first things he gave us when we messed up. And I'm not saying we as an individual, I'm saying the first two people that were created after they messed up, you know, consequences followed. If you know the story of Adam and Eve. And God is not going to swoop in like Superman or like some kind of superhero every time a major tragedy strikes. If that were the case, nothing in the world wrong would happen ever. Period. There would have not been any wars. There would have not been any slavery. There would not be any innocent children getting killed on the streets. It's not God letting it happen, it's man doing things that are either completely crazy, horrendous, um, doing things because they have no soul. And I say it like that because, number one, if you can go into a church and sit through Bible study, get the word, and then start shooting people, including the pastor, shooting people in the congregation, including children, and people that you were at church with, then that's not an act of God. That's not something godly. That's something demonic, if you will. That's something that a demon would do. Now, a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, and I don't really care what a lot of people are going to agree with because everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I don't knock anybody for their opinion. That's not what I do. That's not what I'm here for. But when I see people blaming horrific situations on God, it bothers me because, number one, I don't care what you say or what you think or what you believe. You wouldn't be here today if it was not for God, for God's grace. Yeah, your mom and dad had a kid, but God blessed your mom's womb to have you or to have your child. Don't think it was just you. I don't understand the totality of it. I don't see how anybody could go in and do some of the things that are happening in the world today, but they're happening in the world today. And let's not forget, similar things have happened in the world before, just like this. It's all a big circle, especially when race is becoming involved. Race is really becoming involved in some of everything that happens, especially things that are negative in our time in our country right now. And we don't know how to deal with it, which also I don't understand because if we went through that for so many years, um, you go to a completely different continent and bring over, you know, enslaved black people and you beat them to death sometime. You put them through horrendous amounts of work and struggle, take their kids away, break up their families and everything. And now that it's happening again, we act like we don't know what to do to deal with it. But to me, when you go through something the first time, that should teach you how to deal with it better the second time around. And now history is repeating itself. It was a whole bunch of hate crimes back in the day. People would go and burn churches down, um, burn crosses in front of the church house, go into church and kill just because black people were congregating together. But the one thing that we don't ever need to lose is faith in God. I know some people don't, believe in Jesus or whatever, and that's cool. That's your opinion. You might believe in Allah, you might believe in Buddha, whoever the case may be, you believe in. But you have to know that there is a God, and you also have to know that God is not a superhero on beck and call. Oh, this is about to happen. Let me swoop down and change this real quick so it doesn't happen. That's not how he works. And you have to understand how he works. God is letting us make the mistakes, go through the things that we go through to strengthen us. I'm not saying that going into a church killing people is going to strengthen the person that did it. Once he gets caught, of course he's going to be punished by law or whatever. But in the long run, he's going to be punished by God. And a lot of people, think, how can you sit up here and pray to somebody that you've never seen before? Or how can you put so much faith into something? Read your history books, man. The Bible wasn't written just because. It's a lot of different interpretations of the Bible now that time has gone on, but know your history, read it, see what's real, see how things started, see how things are going to end. And if you see how things are going to end, once you read into it a little bit more, then you will see that what we're going through now is almost, the showings of the end of times. So before everybody loses faith and starts going crazy and, oh, God wouldn't allow this to happen if he was really real, you need to really sit back and think about it. Think about your life. Think about many situations where you could have been taken out, but you were not, because God had another plan for you and for your life. You need to think about that, because again, trying to say that this happened because there is no God is pure ignorance. I'm sorry. That's my opinion, and I'm keeping that opinion forever. Before I go, because I don't want to keep you too long, because no one hardly watches these anyway. But still, I'm going to get my point across every time. Just to throw a side note in there. Dudes, stop wearing dresses. Period. You are confusing our younger generation. You think the feminization of a black man is cool, and once they throw dollar signs in your face, you're ready to do whatever you can to get the dollar. You're getting pimped. You're a prostitute. If somebody tells you, hey, put this dress on, I'll pay you an extra $100,000, and you cool with that, you're being pimped, homie. That's all it is to it. And you're making it real hard for future generations to see what it is to be a black man. In our time now, we're not looked at as being responsible parents. We're not looked at as being a responsible adult. We're looked at as being, entertainment, or look at how he's acting. That's not how we want to end up acting. And people need to realize that this is getting completely out of control. It's really stupid. I'm tired of seeing it. I don't want my son to grow up to be like, why does this man have a dress on, Dad, if he's a dude or whatever? And then I have to explain to him how messed up society is. That's what it's going to get to. And if you're really worried about our sons and our daughters, You need to teach them yourselves. School teaches them probably a fourth of what they need to know as far as knowledge. You need to teach your children what's real, what's fake, and give them the education that they're not getting, that they're supposed to be getting. With that being said, I'm going to say what I always say. Put God first, put family second, business, the rest will fall into line. Don't give up on nothing. Not yourself, not your dreams, not your aspirations, nothing. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on nothing. Don't think that because somebody got shot up at this church that you can't go to church anymore. Don't let society put a clamp on you. We're not supposed to be clamped. We're not supposed to be in shackles anymore. Remember, slavery is over. Or is it really over? I don't only do this for myself. I do this for people that need to hear things at times of need in their life. This is also my therapy as well. I will see y'all next week. I hope that you take my message seriously. If you don't like it, cool. Hit the down dislike button. I don't care. Like I said again, most people don't really look into the midweek pickups anyway. But I'm saying, we need to get it together. And blaming God for mishaps, that's not going to get it together. So with that said, I'll see y'all next week. Praying for South Carolina, praying for the world, praying for my race, praying for the next generation. It's just time to pray. And I'm not going to stop. Are you?